which are actually free. So let's go ahead and dive in and see how they are. So the first one I wanted to mention is Dynamic Notch. This is a very cool way to utilize the dynamic island at the top with some specific wallpapers, which just make it seem a lot nicer to look at. I have iPhone 14 Pro Max, so I will select this and then I will go over to curated wallpapers, but you can also upload any of your own wallpapers that you may have downloaded via the Your Library button. Let's go and have a look here. So plenty of nice options. I'm going to select this one here, and then at the bottom here you'll see a whole bunch of designs that you can select that will change the dynamic island. You can see that happens in real time. I really like this Batman symbol here in the sky. There's plenty of options that you can select with the free version. If you do scroll further to the right, you'll start to see eventually some premium options down here, which you'll have to pay for. In fact, I think this one with the cat looks quite nice. All I have to do is now download this, and then now I can use that to create my wallpaper in the background. So go to settings, wallpaper, customize, selected that from my albums, just zoom out, and there you go, it's covered the entire dynamic island. Hit done, and now it's ready. There you go, right there at the top. It looks pretty cool. Of course, when you do have things playing in the background, then this doesn't expand, it might overlap. For example, if I play something on Spotify, you'll see it just covers the symbol. But this is mainly used if you don't have anything playing in the background and there's nothing utilizing the dynamic island, then that is something that will display and showcase very nice, like so. Number 2 is a desk clock. If you're the type of person that you just want to see a clock there which maybe ticks with the exact seconds along with the minutes throughout the day, then that's something that you can also add to the dynamic island. Now that I've opened the app, let's go into settings here. You'll see the option for dynamic island there at the top. All I need to do is now toggle this on, close the app, and you'll see you've got the calendar and the time listed there in the dynamic island. If you just expand that, that gives you the full date and the full time. Nice little thing just to have running in the background. If you close the app from the background, it will still be there until you go back into the app and manually turn that off. Okay, number 3, I came across this nice cooking app which is called Pestle. If you select this, there is a premium version that will allow you to find recipes on here itself if you do upgrade to the Pro one. If you just want to keep it with the free one, you'll have to add recipes yourself manually, but there's a very quick and easy way to do that. What you can do is just Google a recipe. So I just went for carrot cake recipe. Let's just take the first one. Make sure you hit the share button and share it to the Pestle app. There we go, sharing. It's automatically picked up all of the ingredients and the steps required to cook this item, so hit save. Let's go back to the app, and there it is. So when you go in there, if you hit start cooking, you can actually add some timers for the various different steps. So step number 1, you can see you can do all of these things. If I go to next, for example, this one tells me I need to bake for 25-30 minutes. What I can do is add a timer. I'll be like oven reminder, and I'll set that to 30 minutes, and then I'll hit start, and I'll do that when I'm on that specific step. If I'm on that step, now I have 30 minutes to kill while I'm just waiting for the bake to finish in the oven. If I close the app, you'll notice it goes to the dynamic island. It tells you that I'm on step 3 or 4 of this recipe, and this is how many minutes I have left. It's good to have an alarm on the sound so you do remember to take things out, but once that finishes down, then it will give you an alert that it's ready to take out of the oven. You can just tap that and see very easily what step you are for the recipe. This allows you to maybe go ahead and do some other work, or just check your social media, check some emails, just play around with your phone while still keeping an eye on the timer. So I think that's a very nice thing for people that love to cook and do use recipes on their phone. If you wanted to cancel the timer, you go back into timers, you swipe right, cancel. Number 4, hit the island. It's a nice game to pass the time. It actually utilizes the dynamic island at the top. It's kind of like a little ping pong game where it's a very common game. You just need to aim the ball to try and hit that dynamic island. It will tell you the scores along the bottom left there, and then it will change different modes as you're playing. And finally, if like myself you love working out quite a lot and you want to track how much fat you're burning during your workouts, this app called FatBurn is a very nice way to have in your dynamic island, especially when you are at the gym, for example, and you're in the middle of a workout. I do try to aim by staying inside my fat burn zone every time I am doing a workout. As you can see, for example, on one of the previous days, this tells me I was at 91% of the time during that workout, I was in the fat burn zone, which is listed there. Let's say, for example, I've now started a workout today. I'll hit start and I'll do a workout for about an hour, but during that time I want to stay in the fat burn zone as much as possible. So over 90%, I hit start, and this is in correlation to whatever workout you're doing, so you can plan that separately. Along the bottom you have this bar which tells, currently with my heart rate I'm at low intensity. The orange zone is where I need to be at, so when I'm doing running on the treadmill or lifting heavy weights, I can then make sure that I keep an eye of being in that orange zone all the time. If I close this, you'll see in the dynamic island at the top, this gives me the total time that's passed, gives me a timer for me to complete the 1 hour workout. If I select this, I can now very easily see how far I am with my heart rate of being outside or inside of that fat burn zone. And it gives me a total number of calories and how many points I've earned for that specific workout thus far. I think that's a really good way, because this is something I do track, and I know a lot of people, especially that do go to the gym quite often, and they are very keen on making sure they track their fat burn and calories as much as they can. This will be very useful for having that running in the background in the dynamic island. So I think that's a very nice thing as well. And of course, once you're finished, you can hit stop and that will be completed. So these are my top 5 free apps that I've noticed that are not the most common ones that you guys may already know about for the dynamic island. I'll have them all linked down in the description below. If there's anything else that you guys have come across, maybe in a different country's app store which might not be available in my UK app store, then make sure to add a comment to let other users know about that. And if you did like this video and you found it useful, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe.